Today, I want to share with you my favorite detailing products while I detail this incredible Range Rover. Let's get after it. All right, y'all, if you have an interior with a lot of pet hair, you know, there's a ton of products that you can go for. There's things like pumice stones, which I would steer away from. If you hit the edge of some plastic, you're gonna scratch it. There's also a lily brush. That's pretty useful. It's kind of like a little squeegee sort of for your carpet. And then there's my absolute favorite, the fur eel. Guys, this is next level game changer. You just simply replace the attachment on the end of your vacuum with this, and it sort of has some rubber teeth that will help you kind of extract the pet hair out of your upholstery. So really, really great. There's this one that's the more narrow version, and then there's a wider one. I find the smaller one the most useful. So let's get back to it. All right, y'all, so now that we've vacuumed the interior, we're gonna talk about my favorite interior product. For the last several years, my favorite interior cleaner has been Absolute Express Interior. It's a great value and has some great foaming action, cleans really well. You can dilute it a bunch of different ways. And then my sort of premium choice was CarPro Inner QD. Well, something that's replaced really both of those, in my opinion, is Armour Detail Supply's Pilot. As much as I still really like P&S Express Interior and will use it, especially on some very dirty vehicles, this is my new go-to. I really like it, smells great, works really well. Let's use it. So if some of you missed it, I just did a video recently where I did an entire detail with nothing but Armour Detail products. This is a series that I started with just Shimmy products, and we're going to continue the series. And so if you have something that you want to see me feature, certainly let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. All right, y'all, so Pilot is safe on all surfaces, leather, vinyl, Alcantara. But y'all, my favorite leather cleaner is Geist, Rapid Leather and Vinyl Cleaner. Now this is great, of course, like it says, on leather and vinyl, but it is incredible. And if you're not familiar with Geist's products, they're a UK brand. They make a ton of different interior cleaners, leather, vinyl products that are really second to none. And so today, we're gonna clean the leather with Geist's Rapid Leather and Vinyl Cleaner. And that's my favorite of all their products. You know, there's a lot of good ones, but man, it's super, super good. They also have a more intensive cleaner. Can't think of what that is right now, but I'll put it right here. You know, I use this product to clean a pair of my Travis Scott's, the Fragments. There's a short of that you could check out. I'll put it over here. I've cleaned my girlfriend's high-end handbags with this leather cleaner. So yeah, it's a great product, no question about it, and definitely great for your leather seats. All right, let's get back to it. All right, before we leave the interior, I wanted to talk about my absolute favorite carpet cleaning products, and it's a system by P&S. It's a 3-step system. The first is Terminator. You spray it on, it works on your organic stains. You let that set, and then you come back with Carpet Bomber. And I usually use a drill brush, or you can use a hand brush depending on the severity. Work that into the fibers, let it set for a while, then vacuum it out really good. You can use a microfiber towel to help pull some of the staining out of the carpet. And then you finish off with the finisher. It's the peroxide finisher. And this has a lot of benefits, including making sure the carpets don't immediately pick up dirt like off your shoes and things like that when you get back into the vehicle. This is a must-have 3-step system, and a lot of times can replace having to use an extractor, which introduces a lot of water into the upholstery, the seats, things of that nature. So definitely check this out if you haven't. And by the way, you can get all the products that we're talking about today with my code CD10. All of the products will be listed in the description. These are at theragcompany.com, and definitely check them out. All right, let's go ahead and use them. All right, y'all, we finished the interior and it's now onto the wheels. And so cleaning wheels and tires are kind of my favorite part of the detail, and I've got some really great wheel and tire products that I want to share with you today. First up is Garage Therapy Wheel Shampoo. And Garage Therapy is an incredible brand from the UK. A lot of great products, and you're gonna see another one of those later. But this is my favorite product to put in my wheel and tire bucket. I know some people they'll just have water in their wheel and tire bucket. I do like a nice wheel and tire shampoo. I think it helps provide a little lubricity and extra cleaning power to the process. If I'm not gonna use a dedicated wheel shampoo like this, I sometimes will just use Co-Shimmy Gentle Snow Foam and a little Green Star added. So that's kind of my go-to. If I don't, you can use it in your wheel and tire bucket, or you could actually foam it on as well. So versatile product, and definitely shouldn't be slept on. All right, up next is my favorite tire product, and this is Yum Cars Undress. And I love Yum Cars. They're another UK brand, really does a great job at removing the browning, and it's just a very good intensive tire cleaner. And last but not least, my favorite wheel product is Armour Detail Supply Wheel Cleaner. And this is actually the product that really turned me on to Armour Detail Supply's products to begin with. Really, really powerful wheel cleaner. It's actually a pH neutral wheel cleaner, but has an iron remover, a lot of powerful surfactants that do a good job cleaning wheels, and definitely one of the best wheel products, period. All right, y'all, so these are my favorite wheel and tire products. Let's get our bucket ready and go. All right, y'all, so while this is filling up, I do want to take a second to talk about my favorite gloves. You know, as detailers, it's really important to protect your hands from all these chemicals. You know, if it gets on your skin, it's absorbed through your skin, right? So definitely at least using as much precaution as possible is really important. My favorite nitro gloves are Venom Steel's nitro gloves, and I've tried to buy some cheaper ones in the past, and they just rip very easily. You know, you'll be in the middle of a detail and your finger's sticking out of one of the gloves. So definitely check these out. Don't sleep on them. Venom Steel. We're gonna go ahead and get our wheel bucket ready. And for Garage Therapy One Wheel Shampoo, you wanna put about 20 milliliters of product in a 4 to 5 gallon bucket. So that's what we're gonna do. These products are super concentrated, and I honestly didn't believe that that was enough product the first couple times I used it, but it really is, y'all. So 20 mils. So while this is setting on the wheels and tires, we'll talk about my favorite wheel and tire brushes, and they're Detail Factory. Great ergonomic handle, bristles are fantastic. If you haven't tried them, try them and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So Detail Factory, you can also get them in a bunch of colors. This is the ectoplasm color, which I just think looks pretty sick. So I got all mine in those. Here's the fender brush, the wheel face brush, the tire brush, which I actually have in 2 sizes. This is the regular size, which is fine for tires like this, or I have the XL that I just recently got that is fantastic for giant mud tires. I'm so glad I finally got the larger size. And then something that's not a Detail Factory brush, the brand is Easy Detail, and they have a small one of these and a large one. And I have both. Most of the time I'm grabbing the large. The smaller one can be great if you're trying to get in some more intricate wheels or something like that. But definitely Easy Detail brush with these Detail Factory brushes, and you'll be set. All right, guys, let's get to it. All right, y'all, so I wanna know, what are your favorite wheel and tire products? What do you go to for your vehicle? If you're a professional detailer, what do you use for your clients' vehicles? What's your go-to? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Now on this, I'm already seeing, I don't know if this is paint on the vehicle. It's definitely on the wheels and on the paint as well. So I don't know, we'll have to see as we get to that. I'm definitely glad I filled up this bottle of wheel cleaner all the way before I left, because these wheels are dirty. It's been a while, for sure. I think I know what this is. I think it's yellow paint from the lines on the road. I mean, I could be wrong, but it looks very suspiciously like centerline yellow, which means, oof, that paint, y'all, if you ever get it on your vehicle, try to remedy that absolutely as soon as possible, because man, it is, you know, it's made to be very permanent, and it is very difficult to get off. So we shall see. This may not be something I can tackle today with what I have with me. So have any of you had experience getting paint from the road on your vehicle? I have not had paint on my vehicle, but on a previous vehicle, I thought I had mud that splattered from another vehicle in my car, but it was actually cement from the nearby cement truck, and that dried on my car, and it can be gotten off, but it is very challenging to do without removing the paint. So yeah, any of you have a story like that? Let me know. Share your pain. All right, y'all, so the wheels and tires are now done. We're gonna now go ahead and tackle the floor mats before we go into the exterior. And Yum Undress works really well on rubber mats. So you can also use probably my other favorite is Koshimi Green Star. And you know, that's just a really good all around cleaner. and that does a really great job in cleaning rubber mats. But so does Yum Undress, and that's what we're gonna use today. All right, y'all, the wheels and tires are done. It's time for the exterior. And now I'm gonna talk about 3 of my absolute favorite car shampoos. The first is one by Garage Therapy, and this is their Zero Decon shampoo. And it's absolutely amazing at prepping a vehicle for coating or just removing a lot of road contaminants. Really gives a good reset to the vehicle. And speaking of reset, the next one we're talking about is CarPro Reset. So yeah, CarPro Reset is CarPro's pH neutral shampoo. A ton of slickness, really works well. This one, along with the next one I'm talking about, which I couldn't leave out, are my absolute favorite 2 snow foams, and that is Koshimi Gentle Snow Foam, Christmas version. So I love the regular version. It's amazing. It has an incredible cherry scent. The original variation is Koshimi Gentle Snow Foam, and this is the Snow Foam Christmas, which is definitely like Christmas in a bottle. Not only is it an amazing car shampoo as far as how it functions, works, foams, rinses, all of the above, but it smells incredible. So this is definitely my top of the list, or if it's not in season, their regular variant. All right, so we have 400 milliliters of water in our foam cannon, and we're gonna add 50 milliliters of product. All right, let's get it foamed up. Can we cue some good detailing music? All right, y'all, so we've got our vehicle pre-foamed, rinsed off. We're gonna get it re-foamed again. And this time we're gonna use GFX, or Gentle Snow Foam Christmas. We're gonna put about 400 or 500 milliliters of water in our foam cannon. And we're gonna put 20 milliliters of Gentle Snow Foam in our foam cannon. All right, and in our wash bucket, we're gonna be using CarPro Reset. And we're gonna put 1.3 ounces of Reset in our wash bucket. Let's go. Reset has an interesting scent. I don't know what it is. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's like Robitussin or something. I don't know. Can someone tell me what Reset smells like, or what it smells like to you? I don't know. Whatever. Thoughts of a detailer. So this side of the vehicle definitely has road paint on it. So we'll only be able to get so much today. We'll have to see about coming back maybe and solving that issue. All right, for those of you that do a lot of big vehicles, I highly recommend this tool, mid on a stick. There's also different attachments for the end. I think there's even a clay, like a clay towel attachment, which was pretty insane. I don't have that, but it's great for the top of vehicles. It's also padded, so if it touches the paint, you know, it's not gonna damage it. A lot of times I have to use this in conjunction with my ladder. All right, y'all, up next is my favorite spray sealant. And I used to use a number of different spray products over the years. Geon Wet Coat is a great one. I believe Visor also makes one of those. And they're great silica-based spray sealants. But this is Koshimi's Hydrofoam Sealant, or SO03. Use a foam cannon to spray it onto your vehicle, let it dwell for a little bit, and then you rinse it off. And it really provides an insane amount of slickness, hydrophobics, and protection. I mean, you can already see it starting to beat off the surface. It's crazy. All right, y'all, we've got the vehicle cleaned and dried off. Now it's time to do the door jambs. And I like to use a rinseless wash to do the door jambs. And my favorite rinseless wash now is Armour Detail Supply's Hero. And this is actually the new formulation. There was a previous formulation of this, actually had a different scent, and I believe there were some other slightly different characteristics I'm not sure the specifics on, but I do know that they updated this to a strawberry lemonade. And guys, I don't get too excited about scents other than maybe Gentle Snow Foam Christmas, but guys, this is really incredible. Not only does it smell great, but it works super well. I've got this mixed in my IK sprayer at a 256-to-1. Let's get it. All right, y'all, next up we have glass cleaners. And really winning both of those spots are products by P&S. The first is TrueView Glass Cleaner. And honestly, I think this is slept on. It's a fantastic glass cleaner. There's a lot of glass cleaners on the market, and Stoner's is a great go-to. It's very economical, works great, and I've used that for years. But I ran across TrueView and was really surprised at how well it cuts through and just cleans glass super, super well. So definitely try this if you haven't. And next up, this isn't necessarily glass cleaner, but it's a glass finisher. And this is Reflect Glass Finisher by P&S. This is sort of if either your glass is already clean or you've cleaned them and you're using this as a topper. But this adds a ton of slickness, some hydrophobics to the outside if you're applying it on exterior glass. If you put it on interior glass, it's going to help with fogging. But this is quite incredible. P&S has come up with a number of products more recently. This one, I believe, was at SEMA, and they recently at TRCMA's released Vacuum Aid, which is really, really incredible. And I didn't bring that with me today. That is definitely on the list. It's a new product, and it's a product I didn't know I needed, but it works really well. And if you have a ton of pet hair, like we did today with all this dog hair in this Range Rover, that would have come in handy. We did not have it, but let's clean some glass. All right, so we're gonna use the finisher on the outside since it's already clean, and the interior could use a little love. My favorite glass towels are both by the Rag Company. The first is the FTW, or I believe it stands for the windows, and it's great. It has a nice suede edge and just super good glass towel. The other is my old favorite standby, the waffle weave, standard waffle weave, and it's also a Rag Company towel. Just a great glass towel all the way around. All right, y'all, up next is tire dressing. And my absolute favorite tire dressing is Garage Therapy Tire Serum. And you know, it's kind of subjective as far as the kind of gloss you like on your tire, whether you like it super glazed donut or you like more of a matte OEM appearance. And this is definitely more of the matte satin OEM tire. It also provides a ton of protection. So this isn't just, you know, for just aesthetics or just for looks. You know, it really does provide some phenomenal protection to the tire. And like I said, it gives me that just absolute perfect OEM satin matte look. But that would be up to you to decide if that's for you. But if it is, definitely check this out. And for me, it definitely wins my top tire dressing. All right, y'all, up next are air fresheners, and BioBombs has them all. And so the first product is Fresh AF, and it's just a nice, fresh smelling air freshener. I don't really like a lot of like cherry scents and things like that, although they do have those. So if that is your thing, they've got that covered. But this is just a simple, fresh air freshening spray. And what's cool is it's non-toxic and made with commercial grade essential oils and not some random weird chemicals. So very cool. Check out their stuff. They also have complete total reconditioning products for your car that I have used, and they're quite amazing. The actual BioBombs themselves. I've gotten cigarette smoke smell out of a vehicle. It made it smell brand new. So definitely check out their products, BioBombs. All right, y'all. So we have clean rubber mats. Now it's time to talk about reconditioning products, and the absolute best out there. It's not even a close race. Is Gummy Fix by Koshimi. And guys, this product will recondition your rubber mats without making them slick. So that's the real thing. You know, I've seen people put tire dressing and things like that on these mats. You can't do it. It's unsafe. You need to use a product that, like I said, will recondition it without making it super slick. So Gummy Fix by Koshimi is the product. Let's get it on the mat. All right, y'all, next up we have my favorite trim restorer, and that's by Detail Lab, and it's called Come Black. This product works insanely well. As you can see, it's not black dyed product. But what it actually does is recondition the plastic and just bring it back to OEM and bring it back to life. It works so well, I really can't explain it. I'll have to show it to you. Previously, I used Solution Finish, and that does work very well, but once again, it's more of, like I was talking about a product that has a dye in it, and it sort of kind of dyes it back. This, I mean, clearly it's a white liquid, so there's no dye in it at all. But you'll see we'll apply it to this trim that's faded and just brings it right back. Detail Lab has a number of really, really great products. In fact, it was a tough call with a lot of these products, who to put on this list, but they have a lot of amazing ones. They have Rogue, which is a really good alkaline pre-wash. Maverick, it's an insane interior cleaner. A lot of good stuff. All right, y'all, so we're just about to finish up, but there's a couple products today that we haven't used. We didn't need them today, but they're 100% on my top list. The first is Koshimi's FSC, or Finish Spray. And a lot of detailers I know call this the GOAT. They think it's the best product, period. And I'll have to agree, it is quite insane. It is a finishing spray with a lime scale remover or water spot remover. And so this is a great touch-up detailer that will actually help you remove some water spots. I even used it on some isinglass on a boat earlier this week that just cleared up the water spots absolutely amazingly well. So a lot of different uses for this. Don't sleep on it, FSC. Next up is another product by Yum Cars. It's their tar and residue, and can be used for tar and residue, but it's also really, really great if you're trying to prep some tires, take off some awful cheap sling dressing, or if you're just trying to get them really, really clean to put some type of tire sealant on there. All right, next is another Koshimi product. I love Koshimi products, and they make a lot of good ones. They do. And this is no exception. It's Motorplast. And so were I to be detailing the engine bay, this is exactly where I use that. There's just nothing like it. Nothing that I found. If someone else knows something like Motorplast, definitely let me know in the comments. But so far, this is the only thing I know that works really quite like this. All right, and last but certainly not least is a product by Armour Detail Supply. It's called Amplify. And this is an SiO2-based spray sealant. We use the Koshimi SO03 hydrofoam sealant. So we didn't need this, but this definitely gives you maybe a couple weeks of protection, but basically is to be used as a quick detailer with some protection. All right, y'all, we're just finishing up, and I think these products did an amazing job. What about you? Y'all, thank you so much for letting me share my favorite detailing products with you. They're my favorite products, at least right now. You know, there's always new products coming out, and I love trying new ones and sharing them with you. So if there's a product that I didn't feature that you think is better, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know what it is, and I'd love to give it a shot. Y'all, if you haven't done so already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I'm a newer channel and would really appreciate your support. Y'all, thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll catch you next time.